Hello Nistas and Nistas, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrance, whether it's body or home. And today we are here to talk fragrances, you guys. So I want to do something that's a little trendy, not sharing fragrances, but I want to use a trendy hashtag to share with you the fragrances that I think are mindful and demure. So if you've been over in TikTok land, you know that is buzzing, and it is starting to trickle over into other forms of social media. So if you're interested in hearing about those fragrances, please stay tuned. All right, so yes, it is trending everywhere. Mindful, demure, cutesy, classy. So yes, demure, a term that's used to describe a woman that is somewhat shy. She's very reserved and modest. So I said, okay, there are some fragrances that I have in my collection that would definitely fit that persona. So you guys, I want to share with you 8 fragrances plus a bonus that I have of fragrances that I do think fall into that category. But with that in mind, I started thinking about the fragrances that I consider to be clean girl as well as signature worthy fragrances. So those fragrances, they can veer off into other fragrance profiles because they are very similar. So starting with this first fragrance, this is a fragrance that has been on my wish list for a very long time. I have samples of it. I even have an inspired fragrance that's really good. And I'm still considering purchasing this particular fragrance one day. Flur Narcotique by Nihilo. This is such a beautiful, soft girl type of fragrance. And it does fit the profile of demure. Very modest, very pretty. This fragrance is something that has been on my wish list, as I said, for a very long time. So I did purchase a few samples, and I have the inspired one that came really highly recommended, and it's supposed to be a very, very close dupe of the fragrance. So this fragrance has notes of bergamot, lychee, and pear. It has jasmine, peony, orange blossom, transparent woods, moss, and musk. So this is the original. It comes packaged like this in the little sample. So as you can see, this is the original packaging for it in large bottle form. But the one that I have that is very close to it is Fleur Bouquet by Afnan fragrance. You can get these fragrances at a really great price. If you go to the Afnan site, they retail for like $120. Still not a bad price considering the price of the original one, which is beautiful. And I do think that it is worth the money from what I have experienced with the sample. Some people say that it's not, but as far as the fragrance that it gives, it is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. It gives you clean, fresh, pretty, classy, just soft girl energy, and it's good. It is really, really that good. So like I said, it is still on my wish list. I am considering getting the original one, but I have been wearing this, and it wears extremely pretty as well. So again, it is Flur Narcotique, and I always mess the name up, Flur Narcotique by Nihilo Paris. All right, so the next fragrance, you guys, is from my favorite house, and it is my all-time favorite. I have said this many a times. If I could only pick one fragrance from the collection, it would be this fragrance here. I consider this to be clean girl aesthetic as well as signature worthy. This is absolutely beautiful. This is Scent of Peace for Her by Bun Number 9. It has beautiful fragrance notes of grapefruit. It has some black currant. It has lily of the valley. It has Hidion, cedarwood, and musk. Now, this fragrance has gotten many awards, you know, in previous years as far as being one of Bun No. 9's best sellers. But this is not a powerhouse, they're going to smell you before they can see you type of fragrance. It's not that type of fragrance. It is a really demure, modest type of fragrance. It's very close to skin, but it is absolutely beautiful. So again, this is Centerpiece for Her by Bun No. 9. All right, next up is from the house of Parfums de Marly, and this is Delina L Rose. Yes, the dent is real. This is so beautiful. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It has fragrance notes of lychee, pear, bergamot, Damascus rose, peony, transparent flowers, soft wood, white musk, and vetiver. This is absolutely gorgeous. It is also a close to skin scent. It does have a Delina DNA, but it is Delina like split in half. It's very subtle. It's not overbearing. It doesn't have that cloying note that's in the original Delina that I don't particularly care for. It is absolutely beautiful, not at all pungent. It's just soft. It's watery. It's tranquil. It's demure. It's very nice, beautiful fragrance. So again, this is Delina L Rose. Next up is a fragrance from Byredo, and although this is a very balanced unisex fragrance in my opinion, it still fits into the category of a classy, modest, demure female. And it is absolutely beautiful. Not only is it beautiful, it's a little intoxicating, kind of addictive in a sense, because when I wear it, I want to just continue to sniff and smell myself, as well as when I'm doing a little sampling from my cabinet. This is one that I always reach for to smell. And this is Bal D Afrique by Byredo. This is such a beautiful fragrance, you guys. This fragrance has notes of African marigold, bergamot, violet, macaroons, cedar, vetiver, and musk. This is so beautiful. It also smells like it might have some synthetic notes in it as well, but this is definitely a close to skin type of fragrance. It is very subtle. It does not come off overly floral. It doesn't really come off floral at all. It comes off more of like if it was a cross between like baby powder or baby lotion with a musky undertone. It is so good. So again, this is Bal D Afrique by Byredo. All right, so next up, let's move into more of the designer fragrances, but I think I have one more niche and the rest of them are more along the designer fragrances. But this is a very affordable fragrance that I saw Aisha, Simply Aisha post, and what intrigued me the most is her description. She talked about how sweet and comforting this fragrance was. Not her words by verbatim, but similar to what she said. And the honey note, the honey and the honeycomb note that is in here is so good, you guys. But this is by Trussardi, and this is Limitless Shopping, Don't I Wish. And this is a really nice size bottle. I think this is 100 ml, and I got this for like $75, really good price. This smells so good, you guys. This has fragrance notes of apple, honeycomb, bergamot, honey, jasmine, rose. It has a synthetic note in it as well. It has tonka bean, musk, and hawthorn in it. It is so beautiful, you guys. The apple, when it first opens up, it is kind of, you know, apple can be kind of pungent a little bit if it doesn't come off overly sweet. When this first is applied on my skin, it does come off in that manner, but about 10 minutes in, this is so sweet, yet soft, but it's very noticeable because when I wore this, I did get a lot of compliments on it. But for me, this is not a nuclear type of fragrance. It does give you like clean girl vibe, clean girl aesthetic, but it also gives me that demure, modest persona as well. So this again is Limitless Shopping by Trussardi. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. This is the first fragrance that I have from this house, and her mentioning this was my first time even hearing about this house. So again, this is one of my picks. Moving on into more of the designer type of fragrance. This is an oldie but goodie. This takes me all the way back to high school. This is Miracle by Lancome. And at that time, I was definitely a modest, shy girl from next door. No, I'm not really shy, but you get it. This fragrance has notes of lychee. It has freesia, magnolia, ginger, pepper, amber, jasmine, and musk. Now, although we have a little spiciness in here with the ginger and the pepper, it is not at all offensive. It is very girly. It is very clean floral. It's definitely a clean floral, and it is absolutely beautiful. And I do think that it fits the classy of being cutesy, classy, demure, and just a really nice put together soft girl. So again, this is Miracle by Lancome. Next up is from the house of KayAli, one of her popular fragrances, Quiet as It's Kept. It is one that a lot of people really enjoy. Just go out there and see. You'll see it for yourself. But this is Musk 12 by KayAli. And this is a very close to skin. It is a musk fragrance. Not at all overbearing. This is a great fragrance to layer. This is a great fragrance to wear if you work in a field where you are very close to people and you're cognizant of how your fragrance smells. And it's not one of those fragrances where you're gonna just be automatically noticed. None of these are. But they are absolutely beautiful fragrance. This fragrance has notes of lotus flower, sheer jasmine, musk, vanilla, and creamy sandalwood. So again, this is Musk 12 by KayAli. And the next fragrance is also a very old fragrance for me. It takes me back to my very younger years, high school, undergrad, and this is a classic. This is Donna Cashmere Mist, you guys, and this is such a beautiful fragrance. I do believe why this fragrance is still hanging around, because it is so popular, and they would have to be out of their minds if they ever discontinued this, because I'm willing to bet you that this is a signature scent for a lot of ladies. But Cashmere Mist has notes of suede, macaroon jasmine, lily of the valley, cashmere woods, sandalwood, musk, amber, and vanilla. And she is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful fragrance. So for the bonus, you guys, I included this for the reason of why I discovered, or how I discovered this fragrance. I discovered this fragrance over on Jeremy Fragrances, and he said this is one of the ultimate wifey fragrances. So I decided to add it to the collection in both formulations, the original and the intense. But I do think that the original one could be included in the profile of being a modest and demure fragrance, simply because he said that it is a wifey fragrance. And wives are, for the most part, demure, classy. You know, she holds a certain image because she's a wife and or a mother. So the fragrance that I am speaking of is Mon Guerlain, the original one by Guerlain. Now, the reason why off the top I would not say that this is a demure, close to skin, soft girl type of fragrance, because Honestly, when you smell it, it's not. The lavender in here to me is very explosive in a good way. It has lavender, bergamot, iris, jasmine, sambac, rose, and vanilla. So it's one of those vanilla lavender fragrances. It's a floral vanilla fragrance that is absolutely beautiful, but it does give wife vibes in my opinion as well. I do agree, it is just one of those type of fragrances, so I thought that I would add it in as a bonus. So again, this is Mon Guerlain, the original by Guerlain. So you guys, that concludes my thoughts of Mindful and Demure fragrances in my collection. Like I said, those fragrances, they can interlock with clean girl type of fragrances and or signature scent type of fragrances. All of them are absolutely beautiful fragrances. I do think that not any of them are offensive. They are close to skin and they can be deemed as signature worthy type of fragrances. So you guys, if you have any suggestions for fragrances that could fit into the category of mindful yet demure, cutesy, shy, modest, please leave those in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys so very much for coming back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you. And do not forget, you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.